Welcome to Rancho, Obi-Wan. Everyone needs a black velvet Akbar from Tijuana.
Why does it just keep getting better? Thus far, it's been a fast-paced, wacky journey. But right now, I'm gonna slow things down a bit. Simply because I got to sit down with Steve with a very personal and candid interview about his career at Lucasfilm, his views on fans, and superfans. Enjoy. Steve. First off, thanks for letting me come.
Oh,
this
my
was
pleasure.
Awesome. I've heard so much about it, and I wanted to ask you, what were you doing career-wise when Star Wars came out and you first started collecting?
I was a reporter at the Wall Street Journal and later an editor for 26 years, and I thought that would be my career for the rest of my life.
When did you start your collection?
I always loved science fiction as a kid. I read a lot. I started collecting space toys before Star Wars came out. And I had heard some buzz about Star Wars about 6-9 months before it came out. The very first item that I saw was a color brochure that Fox and Lucasfilm had sent to theater bookers and also sent to the media. And a fellow reporter at the Wall Street Journal was looking at it, and I was looking over his shoulder. And at the end of the day, he threw it away. And I just sort of,
Blasphemy.
yes, he left, and I just sort of traipsed over to his trash can. And so my first collectible was
From dumpster diving.
Rescued from, yeah, dumpster diving can be a really great place to find collectibles. Yeah.
My first collectibles? I bought the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band figurines from the Yellow Submarine cartoon. And they're still in the box. Yeah, I'm a fan. So, you are now considered one of the biggest collectors of Star Wars anything in the world. How did Rancho Obi-Wan come into being?
I wanted to see the stuff that I had.
Yeah.
And all I saw when I walked through the door at the top of the steps in what is now the front of the museum, there were no walls, no ceilings, there were openings in the side. I saw the space, and I had to do it for myself, and then also it was a way to be able to start sharing the collection. But now it's part of a nonprofit corporation. We've set up Rancho Obi-Wan Inc., and we have membership levels and tours and parties and business functions. And I love giving tours to people because it's a way to tell them stories and share the passion.
Passion? I was once famous for not being able to pronounce passion right on Top Model. They even did a 3-minute skit making fun of me. Dicks! I'm not an idiot. I'm from Chicago. I think it is amazing that you raise money for a charity through this, that you literally bring nostalgia to people.
All kinds of people, and that's what makes it fascinating to me, is how Star Wars has reached out and inspired so many different kinds of people in every culture, in every language, and yet we still form this huge sense of community. Some people active in it, some people not so active. Some people love collectibles, some reading the stuff, some actually taking part in like the 501st or Rebel Legion. And it's open to everybody, and there are no restrictions, and come on and play.
You really prepared yourself, I think, with the journal and the hardcore cutthroat business that was, to coming into being an author, being a huge presence in the Star Wars community, working at Lucasfilm. I think like you already had a full-on suit of stormtrooper armor before you started.
No, and it's also because, my favorite character is clearly Obi-Wan. That's why it's Rancho Obi-Wan, not Rancho Jar Jar.
Yeah.
And
thank God I wouldn't be here.
But he was the mentor. He was willing to share. He started Luke on his journey of self-discovery. He took it upon himself to bring along other people, to make other people feel good, to make other people understand the direction, that they had choices in their life. And that's why I admire that character so much, and it goes right to classical mythology.
My favorite character from Star Wars would have to be Chewbacca. My whole family called me Chewie because I had big feet, hairy arms, and a mustache. Plus, I can do this. Thank God for laser hair removal.
Rancho Obi-Wan to me is sort of a nexus of fandom, and I want to make it as open as possible for fellow fans around the world to have some place to go. You can share your passion with us here Rancho Obi-Wan, and that's why we did set it up as the nonprofit. You can go to www.ranchoobiwan.org to find out all the information.
Right, you better. www.ranchoobiwan.org, not com.org.
Yes, but we're just having a great time, and I think we're really just starting. My joy, my payment, is opening the door and watching the expression.
Wonder.
I'm never looking inside the museum. I'm always looking at people's faces. And that is the biggest payoff in the world. And I want to give back because Star Wars has given me so much over the years. It has changed me for the better. It has made me a more open person. And the friends that I have made, I mean, literally, I can go to practically any country and hook up with a Star Wars fan, and they'll take me around and show me, and do you want to stay with us? And
where does this super fandom of yours, does it end? Will there be an end? Are you going to be 92 years old, giving awesome are you going to dress as Obi-Wan, walk through here and give wizened Jedi tours still?
Maybe with the exception of dressing up as Obi-Wan.
Oh, but at 92 years old, I would believe it.
You know, hopefully,
but it doesn't end here.
No, it doesn't end
here.
It goes on as long as I can do it, and as long as fans find it interesting, and, you know, I hope for many, many years to come.
Steve's emotional response to me asking where he'll be in the future got me thinking about where I'll be. Will I still be able to fit in my Slave Leia metal bikini for Comic-Con 2052? Dude, I'll be 70 years old, but I'll still be rocking Comic-Con, bitches.
And all of this stuff is part of the entire Star Wars legend and the Star Wars mythos and what people have brought, what fans have brought to it. I mean, George has explained the various parts of Star Wars as the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. George is the Father. The Son is licensing, and the Holy Ghost is everything the fans have brought to Star Wars. And he realizes and recognizes that, which I think is great.
Steve, thank you so much for letting us come in. This is amazing. Steve is an amazing man, and he has opened up a unique view of what it means to be a superfan. He is inspiring, and lucky for us, loves to share. Thank you, Steve. Here's a look at our next episode.
We cover the whole 70-year history of superheroes and comics, toys, film, and animation here. We are one of only 2 museums that has an original Captain America #1.
Next time, we're revving it up. It's a journey you won't want to miss. I'm Adrianne Curry, aka the Great Cornholio. Are you threatening me?